Good length on the perimeter on Kalen. That is a tough pass.
Wow.
And somehow she got it in.
Man, the pass.
This is now a Lexie Hull fan account. Caitlin Clark joked after Hull's scorching hot game against the Seattle Storm. But here's the thing. It's not just talk. These two are pushing each other to new heights, and the numbers don't lie. We're talking career highs, broken records, and a friendship that's lighting up the WNBA. By the end of this video, we'll share 5 amazing stories about this pair off the court and how Lexie is fired up over Caitlin's monster game against the Los Angeles Sparks. Talk about mutual admiration.
There's it up there and banks it home to beat the shot clock. Clark launching ahead and Hull with an answer on the other end.
But it's not just about individual success. Hull and Clark are reshaping the entire Fever team. Since the Olympic break, Indiana's been on fire, and these two are at the heart of it all. They're not just teammates. They're a dynamic duo that's got the whole league talking. So what's their secret? How did two players who barely knew each other become the WNBA's hottest pair? It's more than just practice and talent. There's something special brewing between Hull and Clark, both on and off the court. And it might just be the key to the Fever's playoff dreams. Before we dive in, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel so we can bring more basketball content to viewers like you. Thanks a lot. Are you ready? This scorching hot pair is lighting up a basketball court near you.
Lexie Hull has come in and made a huge difference in this game. 6 for 7.
You've seen their game day heroics, but what happens when Hull and Clark trade in their jerseys for their first holiday as teammates? Turns out their adventures off the court are just as entertaining as their plays on it. And one slip of the tongue during a press conference had everyone in stitches. When you think of WNBA stars, you probably picture intense practices and game-winning shots. But for Lexie Hull and Caitlin Clark, it's not all about basketball. These two have been cooking up a friendship that's as hot as their on-court chemistry. Let's talk about their country music escapade. Hull and Clark made a surprise appearance at a Jordan Davis concert in Indianapolis. Can you imagine the crowd's reaction when these ballers stepped on stage? They weren't there to show off their jump shots, though. Nope, they were belting out Davis's hit song like they were auditioning for American Idol. Talk about a different kind of assist. But the fun didn't stop there. During the WNBA's Olympic break, Hull and Clark decided to trade the hardwood for some sandy beaches in Mexico. Picture this. Two of the league's rising stars, navigating whitewater rapids instead of zone defenses. It's like they took their teamwork from the court and applied it to staying afloat. Now that's what I call versatility. Now, you might be wondering, how does all this off-court bonding translate to their game? Well, let me tell you. It's making a world of difference. Coach Christy Sides couldn't stop praising Hull's positive attitude and constant readiness to make an impact. It's like all those shared laughs and adventures are fueling her performance on the court. Clark even makes this joke about why Lexie Hull is suddenly scorching on the court.
Did you change something in your game day routine, or do you feel like you're just in a groove right now?
She's in a groove. She started hanging out with me more.
She's rubbing off on me.
Speaking of laughs, let's not forget the press conference that had everyone rolling. Hull, trying to explain her aggressive play, said she wanted to get my hands on as many balls as I could.
I'm out there is to try to make an impact defensively, and I know I was undersized going against DB, and so trying to just be as active as I could and get my hands on as many balls as I could, and take advantage of that. Caitlin? Yeah. We done.
Innocent enough, right? Well, Clark and teammate Kelsey Mitchell didn't think so. They burst into laughter, turning what could have been a routine press conference into comedy gold. It's moments like these that show just how comfortable and in sync these two have become. But here's what's great. All this fun and friendship isn't just for show. It's creating an environment where both players feel free to be themselves, to take risks, and to play with confidence. It's like they've unlocked a cheat code for on-court chemistry. Think about it. When you're out there on the court, knowing your teammate has your back not just as a player, but as a friend, it changes everything. You're more likely to attempt that risky pass, to take that clutch shot, because you know they'll support you no matter what. And that's exactly what we're seeing with Hull and Clark. Their off-court adventures are building a foundation of trust and understanding that's paying dividends in game time. They're not just teammates anymore. They're friends who happen to ball out together. So the next time you see Hull and Clark lighting up the scoreboard or making a jaw-dropping play, remember, that chemistry wasn't just built in practice. It was forged through country music sing-alongs, Mexican adventures, and yes, even a few unintentional innuendos. If you've made it this far and are enjoying the video, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like and subscribe. We know watching this video takes some of your time and it makes a huge difference to us. We appreciate you. Now back to the action. Fun and games are great, but at the end of the day, it's all about what happens between those lines. And boy, are Hull and Clark making things happen. How exactly are these two rewriting the record books? Let's break down the numbers that have the whole league buzzing. First up, we've got Caitlin Clark, the rookie sensation who's already turning heads. Against the Los Angeles Sparks, Clark pulled off her second triple-double of the season. We're talking 24 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists. That's not just good, that's history-making. Clark set a WNBA rookie record for the first, the second, and well, the only triple-doubles for a rookie in a season. Talk about making an entrance. But Clark's not the only one lighting up the scoreboard. Lexie Hull's been on a tear of her own. Remember Tamika Catchings, the Indiana Fever legend herself? Well, Hull just joined her in the record books. She became the first WNBA player since Catchings to post a stat line of 17 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 of 6 shooting from three-point range in a single game. That's elite company right there, and Hull wasn't done. Against the Seattle Storm, she went off for a career-high 22 points. How'd she do it? By shooting a red-hot 8 of 10 from the field, and an even more impressive 6 of 7 from beyond the arc. When Hull's feeling it, she's nearly unstoppable. Now, you might think all this individual success would create some jealousy, but that's where you'd be wrong. After Clark's record-breaking triple-double, Hull was right there cheering her on. That's the kind of support that takes a good team and makes it great. Since the Olympic break, Hull's been on an absolute heater. She's hit 17 of her last 24 three-point attempts. That's not just good, that's video game numbers. And it's not just about the points. When Lexie is on the floor, the team's allowing 3.5 fewer points per 100 possessions. That might not sound like much, but in the razor-thin margins of pro basketball, it's the difference between a win and a loss. Remember that close game against the Sparks that the Fever almost lost? Lexie Hull made the clutch rebound that sealed the game. Hull stepped up her game across the board, taking on tough defensive assignments and doing all the little things that don't always show up in the box score.
Hull gets inside, and another impact play late here for Lexie Hull, who's fouled.
So what's behind this surge? Well, a big part of it is confidence. And where's that confidence coming from? Look no further than Caitlin Clark. Her playmaking ability is opening up opportunities for Hull, and Hull's making the most of them. It's like they've unlocked some secret cheat code that's taking both their games to the next level. But here's the real kicker. This isn't just about individual success. Hull and Clark are feeding off each other, creating a positive feedback loop that's elevating both their games. Clark's passes are finding Hull in her sweet spots, and Hull's shooting is giving Clark more assists. It's a win-win situation that's paying dividends for the entire Fever team. And let's not forget this is all happening in their first season together. Can you imagine what these two might be capable of as they get more experience playing with each other under their belts? The sky's the limit, and they're just getting started. Rookie sensations are great, but they don't always translate to team success. Yet somehow, the Fever have gone from struggling to surging. What's behind this rapid turnaround? The answer involves an unlikely duo and a perfect basketball marriage that's taking the league by storm. Lexie Hull and Caitlin Clark aren't just putting up impressive individual numbers. They're transforming the entire Indiana Fever team. It's like watching a real-life basketball chemistry experiment unfold before our eyes. Hull's defensive prowess and hustle perfectly complement Clark's playmaking abilities, creating a 1-2 punch that's giving opponents fits. Let's break it down. Hull's emergence as a defensive stopper has been crucial. She's diving for loose balls, securing critical rebounds, and making life miserable for opposing scorers. Meanwhile, Clark's vision and passing ability are opening up scoring opportunities for everyone on the floor. It's no coincidence that Hull's shooting has caught fire since spending more time with Clark. But it's not just about their individual skills meshing. These two have developed a sixth sense for each other on the court. Watch closely, and you'll see Hull anticipating where Clark's passes are going before they even leave her hands. And Clark? She's learning exactly where Hull likes to catch and shoot, leading to a barrage of open three-pointers. The numbers tell the story. Since becoming a starter, Hull has been lights out from beyond the arc. hitting 17 of her last 24 three-point attempts. That's not just good, that's elite-level shooting. And it's no coincidence this hot streak has coincided with Clark's increased playing time and growing comfort in the WNBA game. Head coach Christy Sides couldn't be happier with the duo's impact. She praised Hull's consistent effort, saying this, "That's the kind of all-around contribution that doesn't always show up in the box score but is essential for winning basketball. What's truly exciting is how Hull and Clark's partnership is elevating the entire team. Kelsey Mitchell is finding more open looks thanks to the attention defenses have to pay to Clark and Hull. Aaliyah Boston is feasting in the paint with improved spacing. Suddenly, the Fever have a core four that's looking more and more like a playoff-caliber squad. But here's where it gets really interesting. Hull and Clark aren't just pushing each other on the court. Their competitive spirit carries over to everything they do. Take that charity golf event they participated in. You'd think after a long season they'd want to relax, right? Nope. These two turned a fun outing into a fierce but friendly rivalry, each trying to outdo the other's golf game. That's the kind of drive that separates good players from great ones. This unexpected pairing isn't just changing Hull and Clark's individual careers. It's potentially altering the trajectory of the entire Fever franchise. Remember, this is a team that's been struggling for years. Now, they're in the playoff hunt, playing with confidence and swagger we haven't seen from them in a long time. So how do you turn a struggling team into playoff contenders? The Fever might have found the answer. Pair a flashy playmaker with a gritty defender, add a dash of off-court chemistry, and watch the magic happen. Hull and Clark are proving that sometimes the whole really is greater than the sum of its parts. Let's talk about the real MVP of this story, friendship. Hull and Clark went from strangers to an unstoppable duo, and it's not just about what happens on the court. Their off-court bond is the secret sauce that's taking their game to new heights. Think about it. These two are breaking records, pushing each other to be better, and having a blast doing it. It's not just good for them. It's transforming the whole Fever team. Could this be the blueprint for WNBA success? A little friendship, a lot of talent, and boom, you've got a playoff contender. So what do you think? Are there other great sports friendships that have changed the game? Let us know in the comments. Like and subscribe so you never miss out on the latest news. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.